Hello and welcome to another update video on MSTR Strategy Inc. I've zoomed out a little bit because it helps us to identify the proper structures. I did tell you that we will have to talk about some, let's say, changes about the market structure should the market break below, I think it was the 17th of October low. That happened, and the market already hit the next support area. So I've got a couple of scenarios here I want to talk about with you. So the first one is the white scenario. Yeah, in this white scenario, we're still dealing with this wave 4 correction. Before, I considered the wave 4 had completed here, but it just doesn't make much sense anymore. I said this was likely this was for me like the make or break point, right? That 17th of October low. Any further downside from there opens the door to a larger correction, but not necessarily a bear market, but rather an extension of that wave 4. And that wave 4 can play out, for example, in this scenario here in in white, in which we had a wave A to the downside, a wave B to the upside, and we could come down in a C wave like this, which doesn't look complete yet. In this C wave, then we would be working on an ending diagonal pattern. Very difficult to determine the structures here. Yeah, it's just a chart that just doesn't offer the answer right now. Many other charts are much clearer, like for example the Coinbase chart. But also here, I mean, it is a possible wave 1, wave 2. Then this year would likely be an A wave and a B wave in a third wave. This would be the C wave down. That would complete the third wave, possibly in the area between, possibly a little lower, but it doesn't necessarily need to go much lower. But one more low would be okay in this C wave of wave 3. But we could basically start wave 4 from here. The resistance area I can offer for this wave 4 is between $305.37 and $343.29. And then from there, we could get one more low, which means we have a resistance area to watch above. I haven't seen enough evidence yet to say this wave 4 has started, but that would be, let's say, a still bullish scenario, which, however, would likely lead to another low. Yeah, possibly below the March low, February low. Actually, that would be expected in this case. I said this would be the scenario in which the wave 4 is still unfolding. However, wave 4 could also unfold as a triangle, which would keep us in this range for a little longer. And would be like this: A wave, B wave, C wave. Then wave D could be next, could even go a little higher to trick everybody. Hey, we're going to be bullish again, and then it's coming down again. But basically the difference is that in this blue scenario, the market is forming a series of higher highs and higher lows. But that doesn't really make a great difference, because once we break above resistance, it opens the door to higher prices more directly. And even in this triangle, I mean, it might be we break above it. That would be positive. That would be constructive, because it opens the door to the triangle, because the D wave should ideally break above this initial resistance a little bit at least. Then we can add support for the corrective pullback, and then we are ready for the breakout. This is at least another variation of the wave 4. They are both bullish scenarios. Even though, as I said, in the white count, we could easily get another low. And don't get me wrong, even in this blue count, we don't have a confirmed low yet. We would need a first rally and a corrective pullback as a setup for the next move up in wave D. Because also the wave D should be A, B, C. So basically, I don't really have a clear impulse to the upside at the moment. I have no evidence that a meaningful low has formed, but a larger bounce into the resistance area is still possible from here. Now, a more bearish version is absolutely, it makes sense to track this. I mean, we talked in previous updates about the potential that strategy might have topped already. And strategy isn't moving directly with Bitcoin because, look, Bitcoin formed several all-time highs this year. Strategy hasn't formed a new all-time high since November 2024. And so it's entirely possible it already formed a major top. This could be an A wave down, a B wave up, and we're now coming down in a C wave in a more direct fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Different way of counting it would be more bearish. And this move down, that's the difference. This ABC structure to the downside would only be the A wave of an even larger correction. But we talked a few days ago about the larger time frame that showed you already the potential a major top could be in. At the moment, I think it's clear that this local downtrend is still unfolding. I'm watching for a start of a wave 4 bounce. The structure of the next bounce should give us some more clarity whether we are in the white scenario or the blue count. Orange remains my alternative for now. But it's of course not unlikely. Yeah, if it was unlikely, I wouldn't show it to you. Yeah. So yeah, basically we're watching if the bulls can show up here and start at least the wave 4 bounce. I'll keep you updated about this. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then make sure to also check out our other channels. For example, the Morecryptoonline channel, where we cover crypto updates every single day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.